Do you ever feel like you can't actually be confident in a social scenario if you're an introvert? My name's JJ Peller, and this is the second video of a 5-part series where I'm talking about the myths of confidence. In the very first video, I debunked the myth that confidence is arrogance. And in this video, I want to talk to you about this idea that many people have, which is that you have to be an extrovert to be confident in a social scenario. You know, if you've ever looked up the word introvert in the dictionary, it'll give you some suggestions on what that word could refer to, or another way of saying that word introvert and what it really means. And some of the synonyms that it provides are thoughtful, meditative, reflective, pensive. In other words, you're very thoughtful in how you go about doing things and how you go about socializing if you're an introvert. And as I read through the definition and the different ways that you can think of being an introvert, nowhere in there does it say unconfident. Just because you're an introvert does not mean you can't have confidence and total certainty in who you are in a social situation. So I just want to invite you to try this idea on, that if you're going to decide to be an introvert in a social situation, and that's totally fine. We're not all going to be that outgoing individual who's just going up and talking to everybody, who's very gregarious and has a lot to say, and who's maybe even very vocal in social situations. We're not all going to be that person. But if you're going to decide to be an introvert, own it. And let me take a quick step back. I say that you've made the choice to be an introvert because I believe it is a choice. You know, certainly we either lean towards being extrovert and outgoing or introvert and pensive and thoughtful. But either way, it's a choice. You know, even if we're naturally leaning towards one or the other, we have to make a conscious, intentional choice every single time we step into a social situation as to whether we're going to be that outgoing person or that very pensive, thoughtful, reflective person. Either one is fine, but make the choice and own it so that you can leverage that into better opportunities to communicate more effectively with other people. In an upcoming video, I will be sharing some strategies and tactics for how, if you are an introvert, you really can leverage the heck out of that identity and that characteristic and behavior of who you are and how you act in a social situation so that you can produce better results in a social scenario. But for the time being in this video, all I want to get across to you is this. If you are an introvert, if you've decided to be introverted in any social situation, you can be very confident and certain in who you are and how you behave. It's not about being gregarious and outgoing and extroverted in a social situation. That's not where the confidence comes from. Confidence, again, I will reiterate, comes from knowing who you are, owning who you are, and owning the value that you can share in any given situation. So, my friend, choose confidence because life's just more fun with confidence.